All right, so we are in another session for our sharing masterclass. And my name is Robin Marshall, and we have Artist Cook and Myra Walters, other sales directors on here. And we're excited because tonight we are taking it a step further. We've talked about our stories. Now we're digging into what do we share? What's the facts? What are the meat and potatoes? And how do we say it? What does this look like? And so we're introducing tonight the Peek into Pink sharing notebook. This is nothing new for you ladies in the Future One National area, because we've been using this notebook, but Artist and I tweaked it just a little bit. And this is available to anyone else who is watching the playback for this in the future. And so sharing the opportunity. Let's kind of back up because we've talked about the I story in our other sessions, but when we're sharing the facts, remember I always say you've got the left arm of sales and the right arm of team building. Okay, I'm going to spotlight myself. You have the left arm of sales and the right arm of team building. And when you're sharing the products with someone, you are using that left arm. And then when you're using the right arm, you're sharing the opportunity. If you're trying to move forward in your business, and let's just imagine that you're like on a rowboat or on a canoe and you are rowing. If you row with just the sales arm and it's one arm, where are you going? In a circle. In order to move forward, you have to row with both arms. Sales, team building, sales, team building, sales, team building. Both of those together are moving you forward in your business. And so when you're sharing the opportunity, sometimes it takes courage, but doesn't it take courage also to share the product? If you're not sharing the opportunity, this is like putting a cotton ball in front of someone and saying, here's your oil-free eye makeup remover, not taking the top off of it. You're not shaking it up to activate it. You're not telling them about the product. Or it could also be compared to like not sharing the opportunity could be compared to putting a plate down in front of someone to eat at a dinner table and not giving them a fork. How can they fully enjoy the meal without a utensil to really grab a hold of the whole experience? So we are not only selling products, but we are selling the opportunity. And we talked about how the I story sells ourselves and how we connect with people in the I story. Now, in sharing in the notebook, I'm going to add spotlight so that Artist and I are here together. And I got up just a second ago from Zoom and grabbed my little note card. I have this note card here in my home office studio, and it has written on it basically an order of things that I do. All right. This is not any long printed script. It is not something that even has words beside it. It is profile cards, welcome, hostess rewards and eye story, ways to win, oil-free eye makeup remover and micellar water, cleanser, charcoal, moisture renewing gel mask, like right here. Just so my brain doesn't get jumbled because I can get chatty, right? And I even just say at the beginning, that, I keep this sitting right there in front of me. So, ladies, because I just want to stay on track and honor your time, I've got my little cheat sheet right here that I'm just going to set right here and just kind of mentally check things off. And that's totally fine. That also helps you to connect with other people so that then they know they don't have to go at this by themselves. Now, why do I mention this? Because sharing the opportunity is not just a one-time thing during your appointment. You are sharing and dropping little nuggets throughout the entire thing. So we talked about the I story and that should go at the beginning. And when I'm sharing in the beginning, Artist is going to share one piece that you can kind of add on to your I story. But as I'm talking about the ways to win for my guests that day, even if it's a single facial. So ladies, I'm so excited because tonight you have the opportunity to take home some things that you could have on your wish list. You could have something as one of my customers, or you might choose to get something at free or discounted. And maybe think about having a few girlfriends over so you can have some little perks. Or something might tug on your heart that you're like, you know what? I would want to give this Mary Kay thing a try and get my products at cost. And so wherever you're at, you've got so many ways to win. Do y'all see how in that like how in that sentence, I just dropped in the opportunity? It was like a little raindrop of the opportunity right there. And um, then I'll say, and you have the the opportunity to get one item at half off up to 58 as a thank you for your time to do a training call. A training call is just watching a quick 10-minute video and we hop on a call for 5 minutes at a time, like in the next few days. And you ask me one question about Mary Kay, maybe two questions. And it can be with my business mentor and myself, but I'm in training and I need real life people to ask real life questions. And I know you want a half off item up to 58, like, right? Y'all, I'm shaking my head and I'm smiling. You want a half off item? Yes, artist. Don't you want a half off item? Yes. And so,
Yes.
and so that's just a quick training call. And so I can send you the link for it. And so you've got so many different ways that you can get some freebies tonight. So then as I'm going through the charcoal mask or the mic, especially the microdermabrasion, because the reason I say up to $58 in retail value is because, and I've said it for many years, many, many, many years, microdermabrasion is my all-time favorite Mary Kay product. And microdermabrasion is 58. And if the microdermabrasion ever goes up in price, you best believe that the half off item for the training call is going to go up to whatever price the microdermabrasion is because everybody needs a microdermabrasion set. And so, especially when we're doing the microdermabrasion on the back of the hand, I will remind them, oh, don't forget, you can get that item. That's actually 58. So that means that the training call can help you to get the microdermabrasion at half off. And that's just watching the quick video and asking one or two questions to help me with my training. Doesn't hurt you, not at all. So that'd be fun. Don't you want that half off item? Then, right? I'm shaking my head and smiling, yes. And so, if I'm giving prices of things throughout the entire time, from my little note card right here, then I'm dropping that in there. If I'm seeing that, customer Kelly is really loving the charcoal mask, but especially since she's already told me, well, I can't exactly purchase anything tonight, then I know one, she needs money, and two, she wants a product. And a way to share the opportunity with her and to help her get what she wants is to do a training call. So, the closing question, the group closing question number one, this is um, this is the profile sheet that I use in the one unit. And the closing question number one right here. Would you want to snag any item up to $58 at half off for doing a training call with your consultant? Yes, no, maybe so. So that's the number one question. But girlfriends, if you wait until the very, very end to mention a training call, they're going to be like, what? What training call? What are you talking about? You're selling the training call throughout the entire time because you're reminding them they can get a half off item up to 58 as a thank you for their time, asking you a question or two, helping you with your training. And that kind of flows into that last part of the I story. The last part, the fifth part of the I story is sharing what your vision is next. So, what artist is going to share tonight with the actual Peek into Pink notebook, those are just the facts that are combined at one spot, but you're really dropping those nuggets of sharing through the entire appointment. Your I story, your ways to win, become a customer, you know, pay full price, or have some girlfriends get together. That's a way you can win. You can win with your wish list. You can win with a training call and get an item half off. Then you're giving those prices. I don't give a miracle set price, but if somebody asks, but especially with microderm, get this at half off and you're dropping the nuggets and then you're closing with it as well. So, artist is going to go through the Pink into Pink notebook. I'm going to share it on my screen. So, let me unpin myself and I'm going to pull up our notebook so that you can see it. Now, you are going to recognize this because this is on boards, but like I said, we did tweak it. So, artists, let's just run through it one time so that everybody can see it first.
Okay. So, yes, some of you guys in my unit have probably seen this, if not all of you guys that are on tonight. Aside from Heather, she's probably actually, she probably seen it too, I'm sure. But this notebook is a lifesaver for me. When Robin introduced this, I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. This is what I was missing my whole life. But we'll go through it and then we'll kind of come back and I'll talk to you about how I go through it at a party or a facial. So this is the cover. I do keep mine in a cute little book that has protectors in it. You could do like a binder with the sheet protectors, but either way, have it to where it's together so you can share it. Maybe not for yourself because there are some pages I don't even like turn around and share with the customers. I just kind of like keep it to myself. But this is the cover photo. So you can go ahead and go to the next page, Robin. The next one talks about what I do. Now, before I won't talk about anything. We'll just go through it. All right. So what I do, this talks about all the things that we do in our business, set my own hours, get recognized, rewarded. Mary Kay is a solid company since 1963. So all the fun stuff. And then the next one is successful consultants are busy. So this is going to be overcoming objections before they even say it, right? Because what's the one thing that people say? I'm just too busy. So you're already saying successful consultants are busy women because busy women get things done. You don't know many people. We can help you find people. We teach you how to meet new people. So on to the next slide here. All right, the next one talks about the pink perks. This is basically MRSCAB. If you were trained MRSCAB at any point throughout your Mary Kay business, this talks about all the key points of Mary Kay, and we'll talk more about that in a second. All right, pink perks. All right, then pick your spot. This is where I actually turn around and show the customer because I think it's important for them to kind of visually see that. Like Robin said, you can talk about that at the beginning, but then throughout later, I actually show them this. Stay a customer, smart shopper, side hustle, and then beyond. Then this is how to get started with the starter kit. The e-start in the starter kit. So it has a beautiful picture there. That's also something I show them as well. So is that the last page? Yeah, I think that's the last page. Okay. So at the very beginning of your appointment, we talked last week about sharing your I story. Guys, if you have not wrote your I story down and like practiced it, I highly recommend you do that. Like write it down, practice it in the mirror. Um, because you might stumble over some words. You might not get it right all of the time, every time. It's fine, but you want to be able to just know your I story, say it, and make sure it's condensed, to the 3 to 5 minutes. Um, but that comes first. You welcome everybody, you do your introductions, you let them know what you're going to be doing, you show your I story, and then for me and my appointments, I pull out my Peek into Pink book, and that's where I go through and I talk about what I do. And then later on, when we do the charcoal mask, I'll pull it out again and talk about some other things. Robin, pull the book back up again, and I kind of want to talk about how I like what it looks like when I go through it. So you see here it says what I do. Now, for me, I love to pick some of the very important things that mean the most to me. Like the flexibility is something that I love. I get to set my own hours. So I love to make sure I say that. I love to tell them that Mary Kay's been around since 1963. We are the number one direct selling brand in the world. We're not a pyramid scheme. We support free training and education. Those little nuggets of information are really important for our guests to know. And I talk about this at the beginning of the party, like Robin said, because you're dropping in nuggets, like help them see how this could be for them, because you want them thinking about that throughout the party. Um, and so go to the next page, Robin. Okay, going ahead and just getting the objections out of the way. So successful consultants are, and you could even say, maybe you see yourself here, busy women, you don't know many people. And it's a great way for you to just eliminate what they're already thinking. Oh my gosh, I'm too busy. I cannot. Go ahead and eliminate that. So this is where I'll pause and just say, successful women and Mary Kay are busy women, because busy women get things done. Maybe you don't know a lot of people. That's okay, because we actually help you meet people. And everyone has skin. Who doesn't have skin? Maybe you need extra money. Who could use an extra $200? Like, raise your hand. Who could use an extra $200 a week or a month? Um, Maybe you're a sleeping giant. Maybe something deep down inside is just growing up, and you're ready to wake up the next opportunity. Maybe you're not the sales type. Well, guess what? You don't have to be salesy, because women don't like to be sold to, and the products just take care of selling themselves. Maybe you're family oriented. Well, I will love to tell you guys that Mary Kay was built on God first, family second, career third. And I love that we can truly work our business in that order. Um, and then at that point, yep, the next one, I pause there because I like to bring this back around at the end. So I jump into my skincare class. At this point, I do put the book away. And I do keep it available. You don't want to be digging through your bag later at some point trying to find your book. Have it up on the table available, so you can easily access it. So you'll go through your skincare class, and we're not going to talk about that tonight, because we're really just focusing on sharing the opportunity. But we'll go through all the skincare. We get to the part where we're doing the charcoal mask. And of course, you do want to leave time for getting referrals during the charcoal mask. So you don't necessarily want to spend a whole lot of time like talking about the opportunity. You don't want to spend the entire time in the charcoal mask talking about the opportunity and not get referrals, because referrals is a huge piece of growing your business. So you do want to leave a few moments to get the referrals, and typically maybe 3-5 minutes to get referrals. Especially if you have a group of women or you're making it a competition. But I like to pull out my notebook again and just really talk about some of the perks of Mary Kay. And that's where I'll pull it back out and we'll say, okay, so I just want to, you heard me talk about my eye story and why I love what I do, but I want to talk about some of the perks of Mary Kay. And then this is where I jump right in the notebook. And I'm looking at this notebook for myself. This is not something I'm showing them. I'm looking at this for myself, kind of like Robin said with that checklist. What this is doing for your brain is keeping you on track. You're, again, not necessarily going to read it word for word. Maybe you do starting off, but this page is short and sweet. So you're not having to like kind of search through everything. You're just looking at it. Money. Okay. What does that mean? Money. We make 50% profit of everything that we sell. And then you move on to cash and cars. We have the opportunity to earn the use of a car or cash compensation. If you don't like the car, you can take the cash. We get recognized for everything in our business. We get prizes, diamonds, vacations, and so much more. Advancement. The sky's the limit. You can actually promote yourself as quick as you want or as slow as you want. You can move up the career path, or you don't have to. And then self-confidence. I love that we get to grow in our confidence and just the positivity with the sisterhood around us. And then be your own boss. My most favorite thing is that I don't have to punch the clock or answer to someone else. I get to fit this in my busy schedule. I have 3 kids and I am busy. So those are the perks of Mary Kay and why I love what I do. Now, I will say real quick, Robin, go back to that page. if you wanted to show this, because I have before, I said that I don't necessarily show it, but I am actually on there for the recognition. That's when I was picking up my first diamond ring. So sometimes I'll be like, there's me. I was picking up my first diamond ring. It does depend on the crowd though. It's like if you have somebody who's like prize driven and excited about getting prizes, like show them like that was me. I got my ring. You know, whatever you want to do there. So or if you're in Robin's unit, you can be like, there's Robin with her plaque that she got. That's my director, so or there's Robin with her first pink Cadillac. So you can show those pictures because these are real pictures of us. I
Yeah,
think
and I agree because the I come from like the old school Mary Kay. I'm going to spotlight myself for a second. I come from the old school Mary Kay where Lene would legit have like a book. And I mean, Lene, as a kindergarten teacher or elementary teacher, she's always like reading to kids. So she truly would hold up her book, her sharing notebook, and flip the page and just kind of glance and glance because some people are visual
Mhm.
rather than auditory. So even having those photos there that you're showing now, of course, this is not my notebook, and I actually just hopped over real quick, and I didn't put my hands on it in 30 seconds or less. Um, but if the spine goes around backwards, you can pull it together so that they're just seeing that one page, and that's totally okay. And I do agree. The Mrs. Cab page, it's like if you're going to show a page, the Mrs. Cab page is that one and the last one with the starter
Starter kit
kit
options.
on
Yeah.
it. Absolutely. All right, let's
Yes.
go back.
Okay. So, and then you can kind of move back into doing your referrals and okay, I got a couple minutes um, you know, before we take the charcoal mask off. We're not training on referrals tonight, but guys, if you're not getting referrals at your appointments, you are missing out. So please take the time to pause, make it a fun game, tell them that they get a little prize from you if they give you 10 names or 5 names or whoever gets the most names, whatever you want to do there. But very, very important. So you finish up the appointment, you get towards the end, and you're sharing you're asking the questions at the end of the appointment. And I like to pause. So we have different questions that we ask. All right. Robin, are we going through those questions or you just want me to talk about sharing the opportunity? So we'll probably do another series on that, right? Maybe not.
Yes,
Well,
sorry, I was trying to unmute. Yes, we can
okay.
we can absolutely do a series on the closing questions. So let's just focus on
Sharing the
sharing.
opportunity. Okay, so the very last question I asked is, where do you see yourself? And I love to show this page because it puts it in perspective, especially if you're talking about the different types of consultants. Pick your spot. Where do you see yourself? So before I even ask the last question, I show this page and I say, okay, so where do you see yourself? And I flip the page around and I show them, you can stay a customer, pay full price. I love my customers. If it wasn't for my customers, I would not have a business, but you can pay full price. Or you can be a smart shopper. You can join and activate your 50% discount, get all the products you love, share with a girlfriend, place 1 or 2 orders a year, buy in bulk for cheaper. Because that's what smart shoppers do. So maybe you want to be a smart shopper. You don't have to do parties or facials. You can just be a smart shopper. Maybe you see yourself as a side hustle girl. That's where you just come in, you get some extra cash, you're working alongside of your full-time job. Maybe you just want to pay some extra bills or just have a fun to dream or even just pay to get your nails done or your hair done. You're still only working about 1, 3, or 5 hours a week at that level and you keep your full-time job. Then we have a serious hustle girl. Maybe you could see yourself at the serious hustle level. That's where you come in with making that big girl money, earning cars and moving up to leadership. You're still only working about 8 to 10, maybe 20 hours a week, if more if you want to, but that is going to take you all the way to the top. So where do you see yourself? And then I flip the page to the next one. And I say, okay, so how do you get started? It's only $35 to start your business. Like, where else can you go and start your business for just $35? This pays for your website, and you get some samples in the mail along with some brochures and information about Mary Kay welcoming you. Or maybe you really want to get serious about this. You want to do parties and facials and really grow your business and make some of that side hustle money. It's only $125 for the starter kit. You're still going to get your website and you get everything you see here. It's over $450 in product and supplies for just $125. So, and then I flip back to the other page there so they can see that again. And I say, okay, so my last question, where do you see yourself? I want you to write A, B, or C. A is absolutely sign me up. It's only $35. B is buy me a coffee because I have more questions. Or C is could be me, but for now I'll stay a customer. So A, B, or C. If you see yourself at the Smart Shopper, Side Hustle, or Serious Hustle level at any point, I want you to write A or B and then let them answer. And then I do flip back to the other page so they can kind of see that as well. I think it's important for them to kind of like visualize the 35 there. So that's it. That's the sharing notebook. Does it seem simple? What are y'all's thoughts? Who's used it? I know Myra has used it. Myra's had some great results from using that as well.
Both Myra and Christy put in the chat that they have used it. And I love how you said, artist, that you're kind of sharing different things in different spots. And even if, ladies, okay, on tonight, we have experienced consultants, we have brand new consultants, we have consultants in the middle. If for any reason you were to forget, I share this page at this spot or this page at this spot. If you were to get to the charcoal masks, sometimes I share the charcoal mask and sometimes I share between skincare and starting quick out dash out the door color. But it's at like a pause point. Okay. Because for me, referrals during the charcoal mask are like that first priority for me at least. And so even if, ladies, you shared that whole thing in one fell swoop, like just share. um, because you have it right there and it can kind of get the jitters out. Let's see. Heather said, so I know when I joined the page, it didn't have the 125.99. What's the difference? Okay. I'm not sure.
So it probably had the 90. So you sign up for 35. Everybody pays 35 regardless. When you come in the door, that pays for your website. You have
That
the option to add on the kit for $90, but together in total, 35 and 90 is 125. So that's where you saw the $90 on the next page.
yes. Yeah.
Which Heather, you do still have 15 days from the day you signed up to add on that starter kit if you decide that you want to get the starter kit for 90.
Absolutely. Ladies, I'm going to hit stop record for our recording so then we can have any other open conversation. Hold on.